You click Return. A label appears. The refund lands in your account. And as far as you are concerned, the story is over. But the package has just entered a second economy. It may go straight back onto a shelf. It may become an open box deal. It may be repaired, sold by the pallet, donated, recycled, or in some cases, destroyed. The strange part is that none of those routes is chosen because it sounds tidy. The route is chosen by a calculation. How much value can still be recovered after shipping, inspection, labor, time, and risk? That calculation is the hidden business behind your return label. Your package feels small. The system is not. The National Retail Federation projected that US retailers would receive nearly $850 billion in returned merchandise in 2025. That number is the estimated value of the goods coming back, not $850 billion of losses. Online shopping makes the problem especially visible. The same report estimated that 19.3% of online sales would be returned. So behind the friendly Free Returns button is an enormous physical problem. Millions of items moving in the wrong direction. The industry calls this reverse logistics. But unlike the trip to your door, the trip back is not a simple rewind. When a retailer sends an order out, it knows what the item is, where it is stored, how it is packed, and exactly where it is going. On the way back, almost everything is uncertain. Is the correct item inside? Is it sealed, opened, worn, damaged, incomplete, or fraudulent? Is the packaging good enough for a shelf? Is the product still in season? And even if it works perfectly, is anyone still willing to pay the original price? The package has to be received, identified, inspected, graded, credited, tracked, and routed. Sometimes companies make that first mile easier by combining many returns. UPS says its Happy Returns locations verify items, consolidate them, and move them through the UPS network, with an average return cycle of about 7 days. Convenient for the shopper, a carefully engineered operation for everyone behind the counter. At a return center, the item is not simply marked good or bad, it is assigned a next home. The decision can be reduced to 4 questions. What is it? What condition is it actually in? How much demand remains? And which route leaves the most value after all the extra work? Time matters. A sealed phone case can wait. A fashionable winter coat returned in March is losing value every day. A low-cost item may be perfectly usable and still cost more to inspect and ship than a retailer expects to recover. This is why 2 identical-looking boxes can leave the same building in completely different directions. The best outcome is restocking. If the item is correct, complete, undamaged, current, and safe to sell, it can return to inventory, sometimes quickly enough to become somebody else's order. This route usually protects the most value because the retailer gets another chance at the original selling price. But looks fine is not always enough. A torn seal, missing manual, crushed box, hygiene rule, food safety concern, or expired season can block the path back to full price. Then the item drops to another route. An opened laptop does not have to be worthless. A scratched appliance may still work perfectly. A piece of furniture may need one replacement part. These items can be tested, cleaned, repaired, repackaged, or sold with a condition label and a discount. The customer sees an open box bargain. Behind it is another miniature production line. Technicians, parts, grading rules, warranties, photos, and a new listing. The discount is not random. It is the price required to turn uncertainty back into demand. Now imagine a retailer has 10,000 mixed returns, but inspecting and listing every item individually would take too long. Instead, the goods can be grouped into lots, cases, truckloads, or pallets and sold into a secondary market. This is where liquidators, auction platforms, discount stores, pallet buyers, and small resellers enter the story. The retailer accepts less money in exchange for speed and simplicity. The buyer accepts more uncertainty in exchange for a lower price. Sometimes the manifest is detailed. Sometimes the buyer is purchasing a controlled gamble, a pallet of unknown condition that might contain profitable inventory, repair projects, missing parts, or junk. Liquidity Services, one of the public companies in this business, estimates that at least $100 billion of returned goods move through secondary markets. That is a company estimate, not a universal audit, but it shows why returned products support an industry of their own. Not every usable object finds a buyer. Some items are donated. Some are broken down for parts or materials. Some must be handled under safety or hazardous waste rules. And some are discarded because every resale route costs more than the value left inside the product. Disposal is not the destination of every return, and broad viral claims often exaggerate it. But it is real. The clearest evidence comes from clothing. The European Environment Agency estimated that 22 to 43% of returned clothing bought online in Europe is ultimately destroyed. That is a narrow figure, European online apparel, not every product everywhere. But it exposes the brutal math of low resale value, high handling cost, and fast-moving seasons. A product can be physically usable and economically unwanted at the same time. So who profits from a return? Usually no one profits from the return in the same way the retailer hoped to profit from the original sale. Value has already leaked out through refunds, freight, labor, markdowns, and delay. But businesses can earn money by reducing that leak. Carriers move the goods. Return networks charge merchants for convenient drop-off and consolidation. Software companies help identify, grade, and route items. Repair and refurbishment operators create sellable inventory. Liquidation platforms connect bulk sellers with buyers. Resellers do the final work of turning mixed goods back into individual products. The hidden industry is not paid because returns are wonderful. It is paid because returns are unavoidable, and because saving even a little more value across millions of items becomes a very large business. Retailers could make returns difficult. Many used to. But easy returns make online shopping feel safer. The NRF found that 82% of consumers consider free returns important when shopping online. That changes the calculation before the sale even happens. A generous policy can help persuade a hesitant customer to buy, but every easy return creates work somewhere else. The cost may be absorbed in margins, reflected in prices, shifted into membership programs, reduced through consolidation, or controlled with tighter return rules. The label can be free to you without the return being free to the system. The next time you hand over a returned package, look at the label differently. It is not a ticket back to where the product came from. It is a routing instruction into a marketplace most customers never see. One scan can send the item toward a shelf, an open box listing, a repair bench, a liquidation pallet, a charity, a recycler, or a waste stream. Your refund ends one transaction. The return label starts another business, and that business is paid in plain sight.